If you're selling something online, then Facebook and Google's ad platforms are great tools to generate revenue at scale from targeted, personalised ads. In doing so, each platform tracks online sales with a piece of code that you install on your website. This is an example of Facebook pixel code, and this is an example of Google's conversion tracking code. That piece of code can track a user seeing an ad, for example on Facebook, clicking through to your website, and then making a purchase. This way, each platform can attribute, basically award itself for the revenue that it drove. This is critical when measuring return on ad spend, or ROAS for short. So if each platform attributes the sales it generates, then what is an attribution window? Why is it needed, and how can it dramatically change the effect of your advertising? Put simply, an attribution window is the amount of time you allow between a user seeing an ad to them making a purchase. So let's break it down firstly with Facebook. Facebook operates two attribution windows within its reports: click and view. Each of these has three different time windows: 1 day, 7 day, and 28 day. These windows are the amount of time you allow Facebook reports to track a user from clicking an ad to them purchasing and viewing an ad to them purchasing. In Facebook reporting, you can choose to use both click and view and multiple different windows. These are the options you can select in Facebook's Ads Manager. So that's the theory behind it. So let's run through what this all means in a real world example. Firstly, starting with the view attribution. Let's say John is browsing his Facebook newsfeed. He comes across an ad for a chair. He stops scrolling, reads the description, and looks at the image for a few seconds. He then continues scrolling through his newsfeed. John has just registered a single impression for that ad, considering he viewed the whole ad for more than 1 second. 6 days later, John's current chair breaks, and he needs a new one. He remembers the ad he saw on Facebook and decides to go to that retailer's website and purchase the chair. John's decision to buy that specific chair from that retailer was certainly influenced by Facebook, so Facebook deserves to take credit for the sale it drove. This is attribution. Now, if you are measuring the revenue driven by Facebook ads on a 1-day view window, this would record all revenue driven after 1 day of the user seeing an ad. Using this attribution window, you will be excluding the revenue generated from the purchase of John's chair, because he bought after 6 days of viewing the ad. Therefore, Facebook would report a lower revenue generated and therefore a weaker ROAS. If you increase this attribution to a 7-day window, then John's purchase would be included in the reported revenue, and therefore Facebook would report a higher revenue figure and a stronger ROAS figure. This exact same logic applies to the click attribution window. The only difference is that this attributes all revenue driven by users who have clicked through an ad rather than just viewed it. So, what type of attribution should you use? View or click? And what time window would be the best to use? Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. This is because different products and different markets will have varying customer journey lengths. For example, the customer journey and decision time to buy a pair of cheap socks is probably most likely seconds. The decision time to buy an expensive shirt? Probably an hour. The decision time to buy a laptop? Maybe 1 day or 3 days. And then the decision time to buy an expensive holiday could be 1 week to months. Therefore, the attribution window that you choose needs to be in line with your average customer journey time. However, as an example, if you're running a standard e-commerce store selling a product worth anywhere between £10 and £100, I would recommend using a 1-day click attribution window only for optimization purposes. Using this short and very restricted attribution window will mean that your reported revenue performance and ROAS is lower, but it allows you to make optimization decisions within 1 day. If you chose to use a 7-day click attribution window, then you could only make a fair judgment on ad activity that you ran 7 days ago, by which time you could have optimized your budget to be spent in a more effective way and maximized returns. This is why it's best to be very harsh on your own performance using a 1-day click attribution window to quickly discover what is working and what is not, and to act on that data to make calculated optimization decisions. So let's move on to Google. Google's attribution window acts in very much the same way as Facebook's, and the logic behind them is identical. However, Google defines the attribution window as a conversion window, and asks you to set a preferred conversion window for both view and click based on the conversion event. This is what it looks like when setting this up in Google Ads Manager. Basically, this means that you have to have a conversion event script on your website, which is then linked to Google Ads. You have to then set your preferred time window in days on both the view and click conversion on that conversion event, and once set, your reporting will be based on those set conversion windows. You won't be able to change it as frequently in the report section like you can with Facebook ads. As you can see, Google allows you to customize the time window to any number of days, up to 30 on view and up to 1 week on click. So, to sum up, an attribution window or conversion window is simply the amount of time you allow between a user seeing an ad and making a purchase, in order to then attribute that purchase accordingly to the correct channel and ad that drove the revenue. Whilst it's a good idea to measure ad performance within a limited 1-day click window for optimization, if you are measuring your overall advertising performance within a too restricted conversion window, like the 1 day, then you could be underreporting the performance of your advertising by thousands of pounds of revenue. So that's why I would suggest you spend some time understanding the correct customer journey time and decision time, then using that number of days as your attribution window to report on all of your advertising performance. So if you liked this video and want to see more, then please gently tap that like button below and leave a comment too. It helps the YouTube algorithm to push my videos with every like and comment I get, so I'd really appreciate it as I'm trying to build my channel. I also read all of the comments, so if there's something you'd like me to make a video on, then let me know. If there's enough requests for something, I'll make it. So if you'd like to see my next videos in your feed, then please hit the subscribe button and also tap the notification bell so you're alerted when the new video is out. I promise you it's worth it. I would subscribe. Thanks again, and we're looking forward to next time.